What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? I hope you're having a great morning. Let's talk about what's going on with Luna Classic. You've got a little bit of a movement towards the upside, but as somebody had to tell me in my chat, it's not doing anything. Why it not go up more? And that's the way that they talk in my head because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't listen to the show. Luna Classic is actually doing exactly what I told you it was going to do, because I didn't tell you it was going to go from where it is right now all the way to the moon overnight. I'm not Matthew Perry. I'm not what was that? What was that? What was the dude with the teeth? Levi. I'm not one of those guys. I didn't give you this wild prediction. My prediction is 2027 at the top of the bull run for this cycle. Now that is down about 10x from where I originally did it, but again, these guys have been telling you for a long time that you're going back up to $120. That's ridiculous. So let's get into it. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I'm going to give you the real deal. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. I'm going to show you why I'm right. And by the way, I'm not going to shut those guys up because I can't shut them up because they're not smart enough to recognize when they're wrong. So let's get after it. First, before you get started, make sure you go check out Trobits.com. Trobits.com is free for you to use. You don't even really have to do anything other than that. Go to the website and that's it. You've done it. You've actually done it. There's a couple of articles over here every single day. You should come over and check these articles out. Might be some fascinating content for you, and they've updated it so that there's more lunk and shib. They're talking more about the specific projects and products, and this is run by ad revenue. So these ads that are up here, they're going to help you burn Luna Classic. Now, only 160,000 was burned yesterday, but 1.18 million for the week and 5 for the last 35 million for the last 30 days. This is one of the bigger burn protocols that exists. So, we need to do something, right? And this is a good place to burn. So go check it out today. Now, strategic validation of the European TC repeg white paper. So this proposal seeks the formal validation of the functional white paper titled White Paper for the EU TC while keeping USTC. So after a month of open community consultation, the EU TC repeg plan is now ready to move forward. The white paper provides a complete architecture, parameters, and phased implementation strategy to repeg USTC to a €1 value via EU, ensure 150% collateralization through a native L1 module, which I really like this idea. And by the way, I would like to see it to the US dollar because let's face it, nobody's pegging their stuff to the euro. Nobody cares about the euro, largely speaking in crypto. And by the way, it's no disrespect to the euro. I don't care what we repeg it to as long as it provides some value. But stable coins, USDT, DC, BNB's USD stable coins over there, USD1, RLUSD, all of them are pegged to the US dollar because that is the more important monetary fund in the world. No disrespect, again, to the euro. However, at the end of the day, I don't care how it gets repegged. I just care that it gets. If there's an extra layer to it, oh well. I don't care. What I want to see is progress. I want to see that a repeg like this could be used in order to create a synergistic effect that will burn USTC and Luna Classic along the way and start to reduce some of the supply in an appraise. So go read over this and decide for yourself. This is at Commonwealth. Let me know what you think in the comments down. Moving on, the meme coins are not really popping off. We've got Cookie making a little bit of a move. Garuda X is actually having a little bit of a breakout here. It's up 4.5% on the day. Luna Classic, though, is up 3.2%. So it's also moving. But, I mean, if you look at, and by the way, I don't think Coin Hall is doing a very good job. It's not really updating very well right now. But you see it's 332, it's 1,284 when we jumped in. 1,312 at one point. So something a little bit fishy and weird going on at Coin Hall. When I say fishy and weird, I shouldn't say anything to concern yourself with other than it's not updating the wallet properly. Could be just a bug. Could be that it's just not really being supported. That might mean that we need to use Terraport for everywhere. But I'm going to talk to the team over there. Like, really need to be able to see what's in our wallet and get a good idea of it. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to move over to Lunk Dash and see what happens by using. Also, if you haven't already, Terra Pump, remember, there is a Believe in Lunk if you are interested in that one. Now, full disclosure, I just removed $30. Paid myself back for some of the Luna Classic that I had already put in there. So we're bouncing off of this sort of region right here. I think that that's going to result in another surge coming up. And by the way, the market seems to have flipped. So if you haven't already, Terra Pump is where you go. And by the way, look at Lunatics. Lunatics absolutely took off right here. That is a huge move right there. And look at that. That's just a complete breakout. Now, am I annoyed by it? Yeah. Gross. But also, I'm not really annoyed by it. I'm annoyed because they didn't even tell me. They weren't even like, hey, man, let's talk about this one and let's get this one unbonded or anything like that. But, that's one that you can get, and let's get them unbonded. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at it from this context right here, it's got a shot. It is ready to go. It is almost there. You know what I mean? Threshold is 75 million, so we are not that far away from unbonding this one. That'll be the third unbonded crypto out here. I'm all in on it. J Money continues to buy up that supply. Same thing happening over here. Neil kind of falling off a little bit. I'm falling down here a little bit, but I mean, again, like I said, I don't care which one it is, as long as we start to unbond some of these, and the market seems to be making a comeback. So check out terrapump.fun today. Tomorrow, I'll be announcing the winners. Remember, if you have forgotten in any way, if you put your Terra Casino username down below, then I will be giving away two $100 USD ER, whatever it is. We're giving away $100 to two different winners. So put your Terra Casino username down in the comment section below. All right, currently no proposals up right now, so let's talk price action right now. Before we get started with the chart, I'm going to talk to you about volume. We're down on volume, we're up on market cap. USTC, same thing, down on volume, up on market cap. Also, the burns are only 152,787,000. Now, we're not going to survive that way. We need to see a lot more burns. But, I mean, we're going through a weekend where we barely get any burns. We got a lot of people paying attention to something else right now, and I'm going to show you what that is. All right, guys, so looking at this, I can tell you the market is up $45 billion, and Bitcoin having a little bit of a run. Came up to 87,000, a little over 87,000 at the 88,700 range not that long ago. Pretty good breakout. Exactly what I told you was happening is happening right now. The offset, by the way, I did see something about this offset. And I think it's something like in the neighborhood of 100 days, 109 from the liquidity, which again, it was 60 days originally, and it's up to 108 because the Trump, everything that Trump has done with the tariffs, et cetera, really kind of just mess with the market just a little bit, but it's looking good so far. Now we'll see if it continues. That's the important thing. Is the liquidity going to continue to flow in the market? Now, how does that apply to Luna Classic? Well, let's talk trade setups. Well, if we've got this right here. Now, if you are a buyer or you're in on a buy right now, I would recommend don't. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't own Luna Classic. You should have some Luna Classic. I think it's going to have a good rip. But we are in the middle of this, what I think is kind of this trending channel right here. And as you can see, we came down, we got below it, we broke out above it, but then came back down into it. And now we've bounced off of it one time, came down here, broke down into this range right here, and then started that reversal. Now this reversal, in my estimation, is going to come up all the way into this range right here. The reason that I would tell you that it's not a buy at this point would be because I think there could be an opportunity to test off of these ranges. Now, I'm not telling you, again, this could be your big move right there. But what I would say is, you want to let it move up here to the range where you're going to get resistance. Once you get the resistance, you're going to get a little bit of a sell-off. You could get a sell-off that takes you all the way back down here to 4055 before it continues on. It will continue on. It will end up right here. So it is a buy in my estimation at any point because you're at the bottom. But If you're a trader, I would be looking, I mean, basically, let's put it this way. The easier way to say this is you are in the middle of a channel with two directions. So if you want to do something unique, this is the Weeks platform. If you want to come to Weeks, which you can trade Luna Classic on, then you can come over here and do one of two things. You can choose either futures trading, very risky, but you can do futures trading, or you can do spot trading. Now, if you do, you come in here to spot, type in LEC. It's going to pull up Luna Classic for you. You can hit it right there. Now, you can see the chart right there. Again, you know, when you zoom out a little bit and you're looking at this on a daily chart, you really kind of feel like, yeah, this seems like we're at a bottom and there's a good opportunity for a breakout right here. So what you do is come over here, choose a limit order, and then set yourself up a buy right here, 5-5. So set yourself for that range down there at the bottom, and that's going to be your spot buy. That's where I would set for an accumulation. If you decide that you think that what I'm saying is 100% correct and that we're not going to see the bottom and that we're going to see a continuation of this move, which I also think is entirely possible with no more breakdowns, right? And the reason for that is this right here. Let me come back over here, pull this kind of, start right here and just kind of, if you just consider that that is the downtrend right there, or that's the trend that we've been on for a while, if you just, no matter how you break this out, it looks like we've broken, we've broken the resistance, right? Even if you look right here, like it seems like we are in a breakout, and it's just taking a little bit longer because of the Trump trade problems that have been created. So I do think ultimately we're about to break out and we're about to take off and run. Now, I gave you this resistance line right here the other day, thinking that, you know what, I'm just kind of fit it in here, kind of put it, exactly would it be? Well, it's broken out no matter what. So if you get granular to it, not only is it breaking out, but we need a back test. If you get that back test and you want to set a buy order, that's going to be at 306. So if you want to come over here and set your buy order just in case because you want to get in, 406, set how much you want to put in there all the way up like that. And then boom, done. You've set yourself up a buy order. And if it profits, here's what I would recommend. Okay, by the way, if you're doing it on a trading basis, I would stick to 10-20% gain, and then if you get up 10 or 20%, go ahead and take that 10 or 20 out. Just keep doing that a couple times. Get your original bag back or something. If you don't, and if you want to put that risk, if you want to keep that in there for a little while, and you want to just hodl that bag, then I would recommend that from here, then you come over here to your spot wallet. And I don't keep money on this very much other than WXT or some things that I buy, but until it gets to 250, I don't pull it off. I just kind of leave it in here because I'm not really worried about it. But what I would do is I would then take the LUNC out of here and I would withdraw onto your DeFi wallet. Go in either your Kepler wallet, your Station wallet, whatever. Just I would move it over to make sure that you are in of your funds. So that's what I would be doing if so. I'm talking to you about it right now, telling you it's a good idea to protect yourself just in case it were to happen. Now, again, I do think because this is broken, we're going to remove that, and I do think that the breakout is going to end up right up here at 30.15. Now, I do have some concerns about whether it will break out past that. I could see a nice little wick up into the range and then breaking back down into somewhere down, here or so, before breaking out in the event that we're going to get that breakout. So these are the things that I think are going to happen. So again, set a buy order at 40.55, set yourself a buy order at 406, and just see what happens. Now, if you're trading futures, if you decide that you want to trade futures, I would not enter any position right now. I would not enter a position until I got up here into this range right here. So if you were doing that, then you come to your futures market, you choose LUNC. By the way, I had positive money flow on Move, so I'm just doing this realized P&L for $22. I only set a 2x isolated position here with an unrealized P&L. I'm down $88 out of 121. I'm way down on it. However, I do think this is going to reverse. I think Move is probably due for a big reversal. I don't know that it will happen or not, but this was basically for that realized P&L, which is up to 22. So basically offset some of the loss that you make off of that. So I think if it holds in this position for long enough, then I'm just going to continue to realize money, because it still has well, over here, still has a negative funding rate. Negative funding rate means that they pay me to hold it. So I'm just kind of holding it for a little while. Now, let's get into this. If you are setting up Luna Classic, then what I would do is I would look at the top of this range right here, which is about 4067, 4068. So if you are wanting to enter, then you would short at 4068. So you would hit a limit order, you would put in 68 right there, and then you would open the short, and then you would just move this and decide what the amount is that you want to do when you enter that short. And if you want to go long on it, then what I would do is, again, I would set the long also at 68. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I would expect to happen at that point is, if it comes up here, I would expect that it would come back down to at least the kind of midway point right here. If it's very bullish, then it would do that. If not, then it would come back down into this range, and I would take my profit, down in this range right here. So those are your two plays. Now, in the event that you are bullish, here's where it gets technical. What I would look for is a break above, and if it breaks above, then I would wait for it to come back down to 68. So what I would be looking for here, if I'm you and I'm looking to enter a position, I would look for it to come up to about 407, 4072, 4073, maybe even test this top up here at 408, with the idea that it's going to come back down and it's going to have a retest right here at the top of this range. So again, once it's broken through that, then I would set a buy order at 4068. Also, same thing, but going long. I would open a long position. But again, if you do this before it hits that 4068, then most likely it's going to come back down. You're going to get liquidated. So I would wait until afterwards and make sure that it breaks out above that box. If it breaks out above that box, then I would set that buy portion. So there you have it. Hope you like the new format here. I'm trying to give you guys plays so that you know what to do with it. Tomorrow we'll talk maybe a little bit more about USTC. I'm going to refine this a little bit. We're going to cut down the amount of time here. We're at 18 minutes right now. It's a little bit too long in my estimation for what we're doing here. So I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter every day and try to help you out as best I can. So it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you again soon.